Hello and welcome to another episode of Automotive Affairs. And our subject this week is the Maserati Grecale Modena trim. Let's see what this is like. As usual, we will start with the styling. And I think most of you will agree that this is a very pretty crossover. Let's not call it an SUV because this will not cross the Sahara Desert or the Rubicon Trail. This isn't meant for proper off-roading, but it kind of looks like a sport utility vehicle, has all-wheel drive, practical. Crossovers are all the fad these days. Everybody's got them. And in the market of luxury crossovers, this is one of the newest. And honestly, I really like the way it looks. Good job, Klaus Boos, the head designer for Maserati. Now let's move into the interior. It's got these flush door handles. You don't pull anything out. There's a rubber pad. You press that and the door opens. How well will that work in Canadian winters? Well, remains to be seen. But oh, check this out. That's what I call an interior. Look at these seats. So comfortable and supportive. Look nice too. Same with the steering wheel. Same with the door trim. Maserati in the past was criticized for using too many Chrysler parts bin stuff. I don't think you'll find much of Chrysler in here. There is still some stuff. For instance, behind the steering wheel you have the seek and volume buttons, which you find on every Chrysler product there is. But hey, that's not a bad thing. It's good functionality, so why not adopt it to everything you make? It's got a nice infotainment screen. We'll get into that in a bit. Let me show you around this vehicle some more. Fairly decent space in the back. It's no limo, but it's decent. I like the fact that they've cut out these indentions in the back of the front seat, so rear seat passengers have a little bit more leg room or knee room. That's good thinking. It's got a panoramic sunroof. It's not open at the moment, but it does have that. Come around to the back. Yeah, nice and decent trunk space. Of course, with the styling being a little bit like a coupe-ish SUV rather than a proper box SUV, this is slanted. So in a traditional SUV, this would have been more straight and then comes down. That would have given you more volume. But this is the sacrifice you have to make for style. I think most people who will be buying this vehicle, this is enough space. At least I hope it is enough space for them. Now we're inside the Grecale. Well, there's a steering wheel. It's got some functionality to it. A lot of functionality, in fact. Actually, the start-stop button is here as well. So you put your foot on the brake, you touch this, and it fires up the vehicle. The seat actually moved up when the vehicle fired up, so it's at my driving position now. the infotainment screen. Now, whenever it fires up, it wants you to press the accept button, which doesn't always work. Hey, this time it worked. It was behaving. Most of the times I'm hitting at that button and it doesn't want to fire the screen up. But today it's working fine. Home screen, media, navigation. You can pair your phone to the vehicle. Loads of vehicle settings and apps if your phone is connected to the vehicle. Back to the steering wheel. So on the left side, as I showed you, there's the start stop button. On the right side is drive modes. So you can go into comfort. GT is the one you'd end up using the most. In fact, every time this one starts up, it starts up in GT mode. But the one you want to drive in is Sport. It makes all the ponies wake up. How many ponies? Well, we'll get to that in a second, but I want to show you one more thing about this button. In the middle, there is an extra button for suspension. So you can turn the sport suspension on or off. The indication comes in there in the ref counter. See, there. So you can drive in sport mode but turn the sport suspension off, because that does give it a jarring ride unless you're on a smooth pavement. It's very good on the highway. But if you're on back roads where they're bumpy, you still want the performance, but you want a comfortable ride, you can do that. So, good job, Maserati. If you're looking at the center console and wondering, where's the gear lever? Is it behind the steering wheel? Nope. Well, it's actually right here in the middle of the dashboard, like these, call it piano keys. Definitely not the first vehicle to have push button selectors. I predicted this trend to expand or become more popular when I drove the Aston Martin DB9 in 2004. And I predicted that a lot more cars and a lot more car companies are going to adopt this system. And good to see my prophecy came true. I like it because it opens up the space in the center console for other things, such as putting your sunglasses. Okay, so this is quite a neat screen. So this is not the main screen. The main screen is that one. This one here for climate control, it's very reactive. So if you do this, can allow you to play with fan speed, which is rather cool. You can also do the same with temperature. Okay, at least it was allowing me to do that before. Hold on, let me see if this works. There we go. So you can play with temperature as well. It's quite neat. Can do seat setting and whatnot. This I like. The clock. So the clock means that clock. Right now, the clock is in the sport setting. If I hit design, changes to that. If I hit classic, changes to that. I think I like the sport clock. What do you think? As for the panoramic roof, yeah, fairly nice sight panoramic roof. It does open, but we'll just keep it at that. Okay, let's find the hood release. It's right in the center. That was easy. And here's the power train. This being the Modena or Modena model, has a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine which is turbocharged, and it also has a mild hybrid system, fairly mild hybrid system. So you get a total of 325 horsepower and 332 pounds-feet of torque. Power is fed to all wheels through a ZF 8-speed automatic, fairly similar to the one you will find in BMW and Jaguar Land Rover products. So at least it's a very good, well-known unit. I like this gearbox. Okay, now let's go for a drive. Right, we're out on the road. Started off in the GT trim. GT is more of the middle of the line. I find that in comfort the vehicle is quite gutless. Comfortable of course, but quite gutless. GT gives you at least a little bit more power to play with, nicer throttle response. This is what you're going to be using most of the time. I must say, even in GT trim, it rides really well. Just yesterday I had covered quite a bit of distance on the highway in this vehicle, and it's quite pleasurable, quite liked it. But now let's get out of GT and go into sport. And immediately you feel all the horses have woken up. The mild hybrid system is on alert, so whenever you need to step on it, you can. And if you want, you can select manual, play with the paddle shifters. This thing is quick. How quick? Well, doing some research online, found the 0 to 100 km an hour acceleration time for this particular model is roughly 5.4 seconds. That's no slouch. Tell you, I can live with this kind of performance every day. It's just the right amount, really, because sometimes you come across cars that are maybe a little bit too powerful for their own good. This feels just right. A nice twisty bit of road. Unfortunately, there is a rather slow minivan ahead of me. I don't think I'll be having too much fun. You know, right now, even on this back road in sport mode with the suspension in sport, it still rides really well. It shows they've actually spent a lot of time configuring this vehicle out. This is just a good vehicle to drive. It just is. And given that you're in this stylish vehicle with a very nice interior, it just adds to it. You buy one of these, it the fastest SUV crossover that you can buy for roughly 100 grand? No. But I don't think too many people who would spend time with this are going to complain that, oh, I wish it had this, I wish it had that. It just does a very good job. Let's talk fuel economy. This vehicle, which wouldn't surprise you, likes to drink the most premium of fuel. Well, in my test cycle, roughly 300 kilometers total, 170-ish highway, 130-ish city. It's averaged about 10 liters per 100k. For a vehicle of this performance, that's not bad. But you gotta remember the cost of premium fuel. So, cheap to run? No. But it's nowhere near the worst either. Pricing, well, the base Grecale GT is just around 77,000. This Modena trim is around 87,000. We're talking Canadian dollars here. Add all the dealer fees like freight, PDA, admin, air tax, gas tax, and then our lovely HST. Yeah, this is a $100,000 vehicle on the road. Any dislikes? Well, for a 100 grand vehicle, I wish it had headlamp washers. I think they cheaped out on that. They also cheaped out on giving you a power tilt and telescopic steering wheel. You have a lever that you have to pull in order to adjust the steering wheel, like in a $20,000 Nissan Versa. Not good for a luxury vehicle. So what's the final verdict? Is this worth $100,000 of your money? Well, you gotta look at it this way. All the other luxury vehicles in this category are also roughly the same money. So it's not like you're gonna be saving by going to Porsche, Audi, Mercedes, BMW, Jaguar, Land Rover, especially like the Range Rover Velar. They're all about the same money. So it just comes down to your personal choice. Which one you like best. Maybe go pick which one leases the best. I will say that after spending some time with the Grecale, I am more impressed than I thought I would be. Honestly, I didn't have very high hopes for this vehicle. I don't know why, but I just didn't think it was going to be something I would really enjoy. But it's actually really quite good. Good job, Maserati. Good job. So I hope you liked the video. Please do like and subscribe. And tell your friends about us. We've got a lot more content coming up.